my question to you is, why do you keep doing the things that you think are going to make you happy, but you know don't? What do I mean by that? You keep looking for happiness in the place you lost it. You keep going to do the things that you think you're supposed to do and that is socially acceptable because you think that is what life is about, but it doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you grow as a person. It's not really a productive activity, so why are you doing it? Why are you going out and getting pissed every single weekend? Doesn't really make sense to me, right? And most people will say that that's a very hardcore way of living life. Most people will say that you have to have a social life and that you have to go out and drink on the weekends and do the fun stuff that you're supposed to do in your 20s. Fuck that. You want me to go and waste 2 days of my week every single week getting pissed because it's a social activity and something that we should be doing. It's not helping you. You go out on a Friday night, you drink too much, you ruin all your progress from that week, and then Saturday and Sunday you're fucked and you can't do anything because you're not running at full capacity, because you're hungover, you need more sleep, you've ate too much food. What you'd be better off doing is cutting that shit out, not doing it anymore, and actually focusing on making you a better person. Because if you did that, before you know it, 12 months from now, you're going to be miles ahead of everybody else because no one's doing it. Think of it this way. If you were to work on yourself for just 2 hours a week, every single week, you'd already be in the 1%, because nobody does that. The bar is so low now because nobody is doing what they need to be doing. Everybody's going out on the weekend to get pissed with their mates. Nobody's looking after their bodies, or more importantly, looking after their minds, right? Developing themselves, developing their mindsets, developing their bodies and fitness. Nobody's doing it. So if you can start doing that, you're going to be ahead of everybody else. And everybody wants to not have a normal life. You watching this right now, you don't want to have a normal life. Nobody wants to have a normal life, but you're doing all of the activities that normal people do. You are doing all of the things that everyone else is doing. So logically, if you don't want a normal life, then you should be doing the opposite to what everyone else is doing. And seeing as everybody works 9 till 5 Monday to Friday and then goes out on the weekend to get pissed, don't do that. Because the people who have nice lives and the people who are really thriving right now and have everything that you could possibly want, they're not doing that shit. And the sooner you can realize that that is not going to make your life more enjoyable, that's not going to add to it, and then the sooner you can stop that, guess what? Everything gets better. And I know some of you right now are sat there thinking, well, if I don't have fun in my 20s, I'm never going to have fun. Your 20s are not for partying and pissing about. Your 20s are building years. Your 20s is the decade that you get where you can work the hardest, where you can batter your body the most, where you can put the most in because you're young. And the people who spend their 20s developing themselves, growing and trying to create an actual life of enjoyment, then guess what? By the time they hit 30, they've laid the foundations, they've set the building blocks, and then they can just keep stacking them year on year. Or you could be like most, which is completely fuck your 20s off and spend your entire decade of being 20 all the way to 30 partying, doing drugs, smoking, drinking, whatever, and then you hit 30 and you realize, fuck, I've done nothing with my life for the past 10 years. And then the panic and the worry sets in going, I'm fucking 30 now and I have no aspirations, no goals, no nothing. I'm stuck in a job that I hate. I'm surrounded by people that I don't even like. I'm miserable every single day. I'm out of shape and I'm living paycheck to paycheck, living wage slip to wage slip. Nobody wants that. So why are you not doing anything about it? And the funny thing is, even though this sounds more like life advice, but what a lot of people don't realize is that the way to fix all of this all starts with your physical fitness. It all starts with going to the gym, waking up at the same time every single day, tracking your foods, being militant with your life, because all of the skills that you develop and all of the character traits that you develop through looking after yourself and getting fitter and building your body and starting to educate yourself about nutrition, food, and what you should be eating, all of that is going to carry over to your life. I always say fitness is the gateway drug, because the fitness is step one. It is baseline for everybody. Have you ever seen people who are very successful in life, who've already accomplished a lot, but they're out of shape? They usually have to circle back around to it, because it doesn't matter how much success you achieve in your life, if you're not looking after your body and you're not developing yourself through physical fitness, then you're fucked. And they always loop back around because it's a missing component. It's something that you can't miss. And it is literally step one. As soon as you figure that out, as soon as you've got your fitness down, your nutrition down, you look how you want to look, and you're proud of that, it takes you through and it leads you to all the other good things in life, because all of the skills are transferable. They all carry over to every other aspect of life. You learn discipline through fitness, right? You learn to deliberately put yourself in situations that are uncomfortable. That is pretty much the definition of discipline, to deliberately make yourself uncomfortable, because you don't want to go to the gym and you don't want to work out, and during that period of time where you're lifting weights and exercising, it is difficult, it is uncomfortable, but you know that once you're done, you get that reward at the end, which is how you feel, because that's why we do it. We don't do it for the looks, right? That's very superficial, right? It's a byproduct of the work, but it's not the reason we do it. The reason we do it is so that I can sit here now after my workout and I'm on top of the world. I feel great, right? It elevates me every single day. I work out first thing in the morning because I don't naturally wake up in a good mood and motivated to conquer the world. No, it just doesn't work like that. I get up at baseline, which is just a steady state of whatever, and then I go and exercise to elevate myself, right? Have some caffeine, that works well too. But the point is that nothing is given. Everything in this life is earned. If you want to feel better, you've got to earn it. If you want to look a certain way, you've got to earn it. If you want a certain type of life, you've got to earn it. Nothing is given. So everything requires work. It's just a question of whether or not you're willing to pay the price for the thing that you want. Most of you aren't. Most of you want something, you want this outcome, but you're not willing to pay the price that is required to get it. And that's just the truth. So the moral of the story is, for all of you right now who are sat there thinking, how does my fitness have anything to do with my life? If you grow as a person and you develop as a person, it is going to impact every other area of your life. Your relationships will improve. Your career will improve. It'll open more doors for you. More people will want to know you because of the type of energy that you're giving off, because of the type of person you're showing up as. That is step one. Because if you're not growing as a person, your life's not going to get better. Because that future version of you has that dream life that you want. They're better than you are currently, and they've grown to get that. If you look at all the people with the types of lives that you want to live, they've all got something that you don't. Or more likely, they're all not doing stuff that you're doing. So if you start with the fitness, you fix your body, you lose the fat, you build the muscle, you do that first, everything else changes. There is no higher form of self-improvement than physical fitness. By getting up every single day and going and breaking down your body in the gym. By tracking your foods, figuring out what macros are and how they work, figuring out what ratio of each that you should be eating, figuring out all these things. There's no higher form of self-improvement. And if you can do that first, then every other problem in your life that you think has nothing to do with fitness and that it's just life problems, they all get better, and most of them get fixed because you've actually shown up for you, and you've actually grown and developed and become a new type of person who can handle all of this shit.